I mean, is there like a club in your bag that?
I was thinking, like, what would you take out to put this in?
Yeah.
I would probably say it's like, hey, I always have an extra club or two that is ready to come up off the bench.
Yeah.
I can pump the 7-wood out there a little bit further to be closer to my 5-wood. Some people might take the 3-wood out instead, but I would probably take the 5-wood out because I can pump the 7-wood a little further and cover that gap a little bit. And this would be kind of like my fairway finder off the tee, or I'm trying to run it up or just advance it out there, because I'm probably not going to hit this very high in the air. I'll say, you know, I did keep it low.
Super low.
Yeah, 40 feet.
40 feet.
Sort of feel like Gary Woodland, minus the money or the talent. Welcome back, everybody. Mitch Schneider here with Club Champion, here to talk to you about the new P-UDI bomber. So we've got a little bomber jacket here. This zipper doesn't really do much. It's there for show. That's a nice aesthetic touch. I'm a big head cover guy, so this is something that I probably wouldn't pull off and put a swag head cover on there. I'd actually let this one ride. It's pretty cool. King of the Sting right here. And that's really what I'm looking at hitting shots with this. They're going to be more of a stinger. If I was going and playing Scotland next week, or Ireland, or somewhere where it's windy, rain, you know, whatever it might be, where I want to keep it closer to the ground, I'd put this right in the back. I'm probably going to see this really run out. I would imagine that I don't really hit many of these over 80 feet in the air. And if I'm putting it back in my stance at all to try to hit that stinger, it's going to come out screaming and low.
So even for a good player, it's kind of like a conditional club, you would say.
Yeah, in my opinion. You're not going to find too many people who are going to play this day in and day out, unless they just hit it really, really high, or they just have a golf course they play every day where it's just, hey, I need something that goes low. Yeah,
Totally.
Really what I look at. Yeah. That was struck really well. A little bit of a block. Okay.
And those are kind of the numbers you expect. I mean, 1.5 smash rate is crazy, but those are the numbers you're trying to see out of this kind of.
Yeah, I mean, and we're seeing right there, like I struck that well.
52 height.
Yeah, right. and like, you know, I'll get more ball speed, because out of a 3-wood or a 5-wood, because it's a longer shaft, the head's a little more forgiving and all that stuff. But 150 is maxing it out. But that shows you and everybody back at home that it's coming out low or it's coming out really hot. Like that's a stinger all day long without having to really try to hit a stinger.
Yeah, that wasn't back in your stance or anything like that.
No, that was just normal, right? So if you struggle hitting stingers and that's a shot that you want to play more, this might be a great club for you.
I mean, you're crushing this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd probably hit that one a little bit harder, swung a little bit faster on that one. But man, I mean, that feels
98 versus 96.
really good.
Crazy.
I mean, really good feel. I think that was an even better strike than the last one. I know smash factor wasn't quite as high, but 147 with an iron is pretty good.
Yeah.
This one I was just able to elevate just a little bit more. I had more spin. I like that spin a little bit more. You know, I'm gonna have a little bit more control there, because if the last one, if I would have hit a draw off that one at all, dive bombing out of the air, I'm in trouble.
Right.
So I like that spin rate more. Still arguably low.
This is your shot shape too, right? Your natural shot shape.
That's the natural shot shape. And the more I put it back in my stance, typically speaking, the more I'm going to draw it.
How's it feel in the hands? Because like I know, for me, I'm breaking my wrist if I swing that. I think, but.
Well, I mean, we've got the recoil Dart 105X, which is kind of where I would be in a driving iron, maybe even closer to 95, but it's close there. I love these old grips. You know, I really wish they had the swing right, grip right grips. Right. Golf Pride, bring them back. For retail, because these just feel really good. They might be a little bit smooth for most people nowadays, but I like that. The swing weight feels good to me. I can feel where the head is. Cool. I wouldn't want it lighter though. So this one's going to be a couple balls back in the stance from center. So first I was kind of where my, typical, long irons would be. Then I was more middle. Now I'm going to be a couple balls back. See what happens.
A little blocky.
A little blocky. But I'll say, I did keep it low.
Super low.
Yeah, 40 feet.
40 feet.
Starting to feel like Gary Woodland, minus the money or the talent. Oh, that was absolutely hammered. Look at that launch angle.
Wow.
I mean, again, that's the issue with how low the spin rate is, just diving out of the air with that much height on it.
Yep.
But 24 feet of height.
228 yards.
I mean, this is cool to hit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like if this walks out of the studio, it's because I'm hitting some range balls tonight with it, just seeing what it looks like outside. But that's fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks so cool with the way that they kind of did that plating on the back, right, or that design on the back to make it look like plating. The Bomber logo.
One more good one here.
One more good one. You want me to go like crazy back?
Yeah.
And let's see how low I can hit
play
this
with it.
damn thing, right? 2 degrees of launch. And it was a straight block, but 13 feet in the air.
Still. Carrying at 171, 13 feet in the air.
It's the most effortless stingers that I've ever hit in my life. I'll tell you that. And what's cool is like, I haven't mishit. Like, I've lost them to the right. I haven't mishit a single one.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I had that one on the toe and then
dead on.
Pretty dead on center.
Yeah.
Let's put a new tag in there that just says stock swing. And I'm just going to hit like 3 or 4 shots where I'm just putting it where my normal ball position would be with a long iron and just see where my dispersion is. And see what the height is. Slight miss, but a good miss.
Sounded awesome. Yeah, the 65 looks like a moon ball after a 13.
That was hit well. Might draw a little much. No?
Woo.
Okay, I mean, it might cut 3 feet, actually. Yeah, I mean, that's about as good as I can hit this thing.
Yeah.
And that landing angle is kind of like what I'm looking for off of a driver.
Right. So that's your stock. Let's see what are you gonna do for it now? What do we call this?
Let me try a big cut. See if I can cut this thing. Boucher cut. Yep. The King of Sling was just in. Let's see if I can even sling it a little bit.
Yeah. Come on, baby. Oh yeah.
There we go.
That's awesome.
I need a rematch with Mac.
Yeah. Now that you have your weapons. I mean, that's fun. Is that typical that you can shape a 1-iron like that, you think?
I mean, I haven't hit a 1-iron in a long time.
Hard to know.
I mean, even God can't hit a 1-iron. It used to be they finally made one that we can. But I'm surprised I was able to sling it that much.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's for sure. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So let's try a sling and hook. Okay, that's probably a little better.
Sounded nice. Oh yeah. Beauty.
Yeah. So you want to sling it. Grab a 1-iron.
Cool.
Grab the P-UDI Bomber.
I just want to talk about top of the bag a little bit because it's like, as I said, 13 handicap. I know my mentality is like, man, I really want to put a 9-wood or a 7-wood in there and explore with that.
Yeah.
What do you say to like the good golfer who's exploring the 9-wood, 7-wood route, and then you throw in this 1-iron option? Obviously, you're talking about pulling it in and out of the bag, but you know, is it worth having all those weapons at your disposal? Or
I think so. Yeah. I've always been a golfer where I have like 17 or 18 clubs. I always play with 14 unless I'm testing them out. But I'll rotate, like situationally. Like I'll take the 7-wood out of the bag, put the 4-iron back in, the 7-9-wood Frankenwood. I'll put the 4-iron back in when I want to hit it a little bit lower. But yeah, I don't think it's an everyday club. There are some folks that can get away with that. Links golf, that sort of. But no, you're better served getting a 7-wood, 9-wood for your day to day. But yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely snag this from the and play around with it. I think this is definitely useful, situational.
Yeah, if you're going to Whistling Straits or
Whistling
Scotland
Straits
or somewhere like that, it's probably worth picking up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that'd be a really cool one.
Sweet.
I like it.